So the Lord dropped a message in my spirit just recently, and I was kind of debating, kind of with myself whether I should, because at first I didn't want to, get on, and because it's a pretty heavy message. So not only at first then I didn't want to get on, but then also secondly, kind of walking around pacing, asking the Lord, how do I give this message, because I don't want people to have a misunderstanding of what it is that he would be delivering here. And so but the Lord had put on my heart, and this is, yes, there has something that took place not too long ago, and I feel like the Lord has really bothered me today about this, just wanting to share a little bit without, name calling or anything like that. Like just one of the things that had happened to me recently. So I was recently a part of a prophetic group in um, it was like a prophetic group. We got on, and we were able to share prophecy and things like that. And uh, so I was sharing prophecy and um, doing what I really felt in my spirit the Lord, want me to do. Um, was to share a prophecy, and I shared it, quite a few times. And then the leader of that group um, starts, saying that I was posting too much. Now, before anybody jumps to any conclusion, this person is a really, nice guy. He's really uh, has a heart for the Lord, so there is no hard feelings. But then this morning, uh, God, because I wept, I wept, for a whole hour or more straight. Like when I went to bed um, last night, I just for a whole hour or maybe even more, just completely wept because I felt like I was being misunderstood. Because after they, said that, they were giving me a break because I was posting too much, we kind of went back and forth, and I kind of felt misunderstood on, you know, and even to this day, I still don't know exactly why, this happened. But then this morning, it was like God reminded me that everybody is going to get judged. Like, even in this life or the next. Like, meaning, so you might get judged in this life for your wrongdoings, right? Like sometimes you sin, and God, sometimes deals with that here on this earth. Some people get won't get judged until they, go to hell, right? That's a place of judgment. But then a lot of people don't know this, but another place where you would get judged is when you step into heaven's gates, God is going to judge everything that you have done on this earth, good or bad. And so that's what God, kind of reminded me, is because, see, I was praying that God would deal with the situation. And so then from there, God reminded me, He said that, when we all die, and God is going to judge good and bad from everybody. Even if you're a prophet or somebody that's a pastor, or, you know, whatever. Like, God is going to judge, right? And so what I wanted to say is, are we, you know, like, if, and I say if, but this isn't an if, when God judges, or, like, every, like, that's true, how are we living here on earth? As a prophet, are you doing what God is calling you to do? You know, prophesying, or, whatever that would be that God is calling you to do. Or, like, for instance, in you might be somebody that it had gone through the same, almost a similar situation that I went through. And, well, so, like, picture you as, like, leadership in the church. Well, you know that God is going to judge every single act, right? So if God had told somebody to prophesy, and you as a leader, maybe you shut the door on them, telling them not to prophesy, or maybe you didn't tell them that they can't prophesy, but maybe you said that they're posting too much, or, whatever. And if God had told them to post, and you're saying that they're posting too much, God is going to judge that. He's going to judge that, and He's going to say, I told them to post. I told them to prophesy. So, as a leader, you can't necessarily just be like, well, I'm the leader and they're the student, so therefore, like, you almost have to, as a leader, you have to learn humility. And you have to learn to listen to others, even if it doesn't make any sense. And if you and a student is going back and forth, you need to pray and ask God to unplug your ears and ask God to open up your eyes. Because, again, circles back to, God judging every action.